Good morning and hello to everyone from Australia. My name is Bobby Richardson. These are my Ascension messages and I'll be your guide for today. So today we're going to have a chat about we're going to channel some stuff through and see what happens. I I literally look like I just got out of bed because I did. I was sitting in bed and went, holy crap, I've got to go live in quarter of an hour. So my eyes are like still trying to wake up. Sorry, guys. Most not very organized today. So that's mainly because I have been working so hard for you guys on these masterclasses. So the masterclasses involve 4 really incredible videos, and it's literally everything that my guides taught me right from the start when they led me to digging up gold and then started to put messages in my mind on how to control my mind, and then all the way through to the ability to be able to channel. We talk about, there's a whole video that I'm creating at the moment for the second time because 2 videos got wiped on the pineal gland, and there's so much juicy information in that. Plus, there'll be 4, I'll make myself available for 4 times where you can chat with me in these masterclasses. So there'll be 2 a.m.s and 2 p.m.s, depending, because I'm trying to help all of those from the other side of the world as well. You only really need to come to a couple of them, but you're most welcome to come to all 4. And chat about you and how you've progressed and what you need, and we can like converse and see how we're going and all that sort of stuff. Get as much wisdom out of me as you like, as on that topic, obviously. And also my guides have gifted me these incredible, what I feel, this is obviously it's my guides and me, my higher self. But they keep popping in all these ideas of how to create telepathy games. So I've created quite a few telepathy games and I want to create a couple more. I would say this is going to be ready to launch mid-June. So I've already got quite a few people interested in them, which is very exciting. If you want to know the price, it's on my website. So go to Codes to a New Reality. And it's just 1 block price. That's it. Done. And then you get to see all the videos and have 4 chances to have a chat to me. Any case, so that's the master classes, and that's where all my attention is gone. And so I've still got, I honestly haven't done a lot of like just sitting with myself and my team and channeling, but I have been getting these really interesting messages about where certain people are going. So they kind of break it up. Well, I break it up. Maybe it's my logical mind that breaks it up. I break it up into those that come from other planets and other dimensions, the star children. And then I have the coded ones, who are the witches and the wizards that have been here life after life holding codes. And then I have the elementals as well, which are the inner, and more to do with the inner earth beings and those that are on earth and then been born into a human. And I've had this kind of these messages coming through on each of them separately and where they are in their reality at the moment and what's happening with them. So I might have a chat about that, since I haven't got too much else going on here. I did put up one of my Facebook posts, there was a person who asked a question, why is it so hard being a light worker? And I'll tell you my answer, because we are the ones who cut through the lies and deceptions first, then smooth it out with self-integrity and compassion, then go back by lowering our energies, another blow, to find others who are ready, then teach them the path we found to self-integrity and compassion. That's why we are called the light workers, light warriors, sorry. It wasn't meant to be easy. We carved the path for many. So yeah, that in itself literally says what the path of the light workers is. But like we constantly go back. It seems like we're just about there and then boom, we get knocked. Now that's also, there's two ways of looking at it. One, it gives us an opportunity to help others as we come up because we get more information on how to help ourselves. But eventually it's going to come to a point where we know thyself so much that we have this fluid ability to be able to just lower our frequency enough to understand somebody or come from an observer point of view and be able to tell the story without actually having to go through the story ourselves. So we might be doing this going back and forth at the moment, but there's going to come a threshold where it's like no longer needing to actually live on this planet, going back to the logical mind being in charge and everyone and us feeling like the world's against us and all that sort of stuff. We will get to a stage, it's almost like a threshold where the light workers will go, I'm now creating and carving the life that I always wanted on this planet, and that will show up for those that you are helping. But you also have held all this wisdom that you have learned throughout the years of when you did lose yourself and you did find yourself and you did lose yourself and you did find yourself. So that's pretty much the light workers' missions. And then we have the coded ones mission. And the coded ones mission, I call them the coded one because they are so brave and I am so proud of them all. My mum is one. It's most light workers are born through coded ones. So those that are coded have gone through a lot of trauma, past lives on this planet, because they have held the feminine code, or they held the code of the intuition or the imagination, ability to connect to Mother Earth, the ability to see through past the veil. They held it for life after life after life after life, and were persecuted for it while the masculine was in charge, because that's what the masculine does. It knocks down the outside world, trying to control the outside world to make itself feel better. And so they've gone through a lot of trauma, and now through these energies that are holding us at the moment, they are being gifted this chance to clear all of that. And it's not always an easy thing, because they have to, sometimes they're confronted with the same things that happen in past lives. And then it will dredge up all of this ugliness that they felt. And then they have to look at it from another perspective so that they can see it and themselves as powerful. They see themselves as powerful so that they can move through them. And so they're gaining power as they go along, as all of these solar flares are hitting us and bombarding us, and humanity's consciousness is waking up, and the light workers are doing the job. And the light workers, many of them are here to help those ones that have held the codes first, because the coded ones have a lot of understanding about Gaia herself. They have a lot of understanding about the elemental world. They have a lot of understanding about connection to this plane of existence and the magic that can be welded on this plane of existence. Most of them have gone from all the way from Atlantis through the masculine era through till now. And so to awaken from being the victim and taking their power back, they might start doing getting into tarot or spells or something like that, or getting into connection to Mother Earth again, starting to remember the power that they truly are, that they're no longer victim to the world. So they're going through this whole, at this moment, I'm feeling like they're going through literally having things faced off with them about their past lives and that sort of thing. And I've noticed through the readings that I've been doing that that's what's coming up. We're all going through something, but there are those right on the threshold of popping through into, oh my God, I am so freaking powerful and I don't have to worry about things anymore. I'm no longer the victim to my life. Then we have the elementals. So the elementals were in the inner world, and there was quite a few of them that decided, I'll be born as a human now, and when this changeover happens, so that they could be the connectors to the elemental world. And they are usually lighthearted, love to play, very happy-go-lucky little things. not always tiny, but it's usually pretty slender. The girls are anyway. I've noticed that they're all very pretty and delightful to be around. I feel at this moment with them, they're more into finding themselves adventuring the world, like using this time to actually get out and go and take trips around the world. My daughter is one for sure, and she's on the other side of the world. She's a dryad fairy. I knew that 100%. So they'll be doing a lot of reconnecting to the world in different places and spreading their light and their love and their happiness and their fun and their adventure, that sort of thing. And they probably aren't as affected as much because they haven't gone through so much trauma, but they might still have the odd thing coming up if they are still a victim, if they were born into a victim family, like a family that was overbearing and they became a victim to that. They might be using this time to still figure out a few trauma-based things, but they're learning to ground magic into this world. So yeah, there's them as well. There's also, honestly, there's also beings that have come straight from the animal world, and each and every one of them has different codes depending on what animal they come through. So a soul is a soul. It can have any adventure, and it can choose to be through any being. There are certain souls that have come into animals specifically to connect with humans at the moment, and then there's souls that have decided to become the humans that are born through those animals, and then they are learning to connect back to those animals, and they'll have a telepathic, more of a stronghold or understanding of that specific animal. They're telling me that now. So just so that we can connect again, it's all to do with connection again. It's all to do with learning to connect to our outside world from a feeling base rather than I want to know more about the animals, I'm going to dissect it. It's more about a feeling base and an understanding of the natural program that's held within the core belief of that animal. Same goes for plants as well. So yeah, there's a lot more diversity around the animals. Yes. Hey, Janine in the chat bar. Hey, Yannicka, Diana, Zara, and Debbie. Good to see you guys. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, Yannicka's in for my courses. There's quite a few people who are coming for my courses. I'm so excited. Let's see what else comes through, though, for now in these times. Just from a human point of view, right? We're all going through it, but there's some of us that are right standing on this threshold. It's like we're learning that we're not supposed to be waiting for the outside world to tell us who we are. We're learning that. We're learning to take responsibility for how we feel about ourselves, and then when we feel about that, about ourselves and how amazingly powerful we are in what our imagination can bring to us, understanding what we can ground and what we can't, all of that, then we are sending new vibrations out to the universe that we're no longer victim on this world. And when a victim wakes up, the perpetrators no longer have a victim anymore. And so they will have to eventually look at themselves. They might go try to find another victim, obviously, but the more of us that wake up out of this victim state of awareness, the more that they have to look at themselves. So we end up forcing the game and our leaders to look at themselves. The more that we become empowered, the more that we see our boundaries. So there's within the awakening, there's a lot of mainstreamers that have got to the point where they've had enough. They can see that something's not quite right, and they're looking elsewhere to find answers other than the leaders. And so that's bringing them out of being a victim, because then they're searching from their own soul. Even if they've done life after life after life and being a victim in that life, they're searching from themselves how to change their feeling, how to change who they are. And when they wake up to that, the message I would give to them is to take command of their world, to go out and command the world, to become their outside world to become is there for them, not the other way around, not they are serving the outside world. When you are serving the outside world, you're automatically asking to give your power up to somebody else outside of you. And that's when a perpetrator can easily stand up and go and direct you to where they want to go. They're trying to control the world because they can't control what's inside them, their feelings. And they feel if they have as many people as possible to control, then they have the upper hand, because they can't control how they feel inside. And even if they do control millions, they're still going to go to bed with crap in their head. Even if they don't have much empathy, it's still going to catch up on them eventually. Most of those that are in charge of humans have literally, like, a lot of them have small amygdalas. They don't have much compassion for others. And it's only due to the fact that most of humans have not taken their power back and given themselves compassion. So when we start having compassion for self, we're no longer listening to their agendas anymore. And so their agendas start to stand out to us as fraud and deceptions and overwhelming, controlling. And so then we can say no to that. Anyway, that's a little bit, and probably hope that they don't take this down. Little bit of that. What else? Is there any other messages that want to come through in this moment? Okay, so they're wanting us to play a lot more. I'm getting this message of playing a lot more. We tend to take life too seriously. In the higher dimensions, things aren't taken as seriously because they recognize that nothing really matters. It's only due to you and what you decide matters that matters. So it's coming from you, that you put an emphasis on something and then that matters. But from a source energy point of view, if you become closer to source energy from a love vibration, all of it is just a wonderful story going on a journey. Life, death, everything is just constantly evolving. And so it's not like that thing there matters so much that we have to focus in on it, and we have to give it, like, we're literally giving life to things. That's an interesting message. We're literally giving life to things that shouldn't matter, and including those that are in charge, because they are vibrating at a frequency, and they keep on vibrating that frequency, and it's irritating. It's like a little mosquito that's irritating. And then when you turn your attention to it, they will vibrate even more. But if you turn your attention away from it, you'll find the plant. If it was a mosquito, you'll find the plant behind you that you can just rub on your skin, and it doesn't like that smell, and then it goes away. Like, you start to find the paths that work for you, that stop them from irritating you. But when you turn and face them, that's what they want. So we're giving way too much attention to those things, and that gives it a grounded reality, a grounded outside reality in our consciousness. But it's our consciousness that's creating all of that. So when we step out of being a victim, we can see way more paths from that point of view of not being a victim, of how to change things. I brought this up in a reading I did with somebody, a lovely lady yesterday, actually. I'm going to help her out, and I'm thinking of helping out many more people, because I'm thinking there's a lot of people out there that are light workers, especially in my team, that actually want their job to thrive. They want their stuff to get out there, or they want to go live or something. And so I think I might, thinking of it maybe after I finish these master classes and that, bringing, or maybe before, if anyone in the chat bar, anyone watching is intrigued by this, of doing some interviews with people that have businesses that want to come up. I've not got, crazy amount of subscribers, but I've got some. So if you want to practice with me, I'm probably a good amount of subscribers to practice the first one with, having an interview on your business and that sort of thing, so that I can help other light workers spread the word. I'm absolutely in tune with that. I was on a story before. Just good now. I knew if I changed the subject, I would get off that story, but okay, bring in some more channeling, please. What's some more advice that you've got for us? Let me hold my little moldavite crystal. Okay, definitely the Acrturians are here, and they're bringing through, like, honestly, they're bringing through the Lions. Okay, let's get into what the Lions need to say. So the Lions have a big history with humanity. They are a part of our DNA coding. They could have been perceived as gods, so to speak, but they didn't want that. That's not what they were here for. They helped because of their history was they were the prime creators, pretty much, of this universe, and they created so much, including Dyson stars and everything. They created so much beauty in this place, but then they didn't have a lot of adversary. They didn't have a lot of resistance, and they got to the edge of their kind of creations. And then it was like to help them move forward towards source energy, closer to source energy, they needed some resistance. And they're telling me their history at the moment, and I do know this history because I've been told it before. And that resistance ended up that that they ended up bringing in a portal was open. It's like source energy saw that, and then saw on another dimension that there was a consumer race that overconsumed Draconians, and they ended up creating a portal between the two dimensions. And so the Draconians came through and wanted to explore this place. And when they met the Lyrians, they said, hey, we want a planet to reside on. And the Lyrians went, we don't know you. And the Draconians, being the Draconians, just went, oh, well, that means it's all war, right? We consume, so we'll just go and consume. And they blew up quite a few of their planets, or their creations and stuff. And so it scattered the Lyrians all around the universe to try to strengthen their bodies, because their bodies weren't that, I mean, compared to the Draconians, they weren't that compatible. So they went around trying to find planets to breed into and strengthen their bloodlines. And one of the planets that they came across eventually was Earth. And they ended up breeding with us. But the Draconians also had their time with us as well. So we ended up having, this is why humanity is amazing, both consumer and creator within us and our logical mind and our way that we think and our intuitive mind. And now it's like those, when we, because we have it within us, get along within ourselves, we're literally freeing them to understand what each process was needed so that we can open the portal back home to source energy, which actually elevates everyone that's part of our DNA. Everyone that's had a little play with humanity's DNA ends up elevating because humanity elevates. So that's why there's so much ships and that are around Earth trying to, like, observing and finding out what's going on. Or we're rocking everyone's boat by elevating ourselves. That's the story I know that I was gifted. And how I was gifted that was, I asked for the history of humanity, and it took 10 years and 4 different species to visit me. And they each had like a space of a couple of years. And then they would tell me their side of the history, or I would feel into their vibration. And I had a lot of interaction with those beings. So I had, first of all, was the Draconians, because they actually woke me up, because I had to become empowered by them, and their resistance created my awakening. So it was quite a traumatizing experience to be confronted, and I was confronted with them, but it woke me up to my power, because I realized that I'm more powerful than I am from a soul's perspective, way more. Well, only because we're all equal in the end, but from my point of view in that moment. And then I ended up with the Pleiadians after that for a few years, and a lot of information from them. And then there was that Anunnaki came to me, actually physically came to me, and their ship and everything, and it was pretty cool. And they had a message of, they were entangled with the Draconians at one stage, but they understand the evolution of humanity now and want to help us evolve. With the ones that I met, I'm not saying everyone's like that. These are the ones that I met. I mean, there's a lot more to the story. Stories go, pretty vast. I can only tell you from my point of view. And then the Lyrians came next, and they were more of their energy is they were really concerned, and they needed to have something in return. So if I asked a question, if they wanted something, It's like if I wanted to know something, they wanted something from me. So there was always an exchange. They're very much exchange beings. They need to have something in exchange because of what happened to them in the past. So when I ask them some just random questions, they're like, oh, cool, now we can take something from you, and that sort of thing. And it was pretty interesting. So yeah, they still are tainted by their history. I'll just see if they have any messages coming through, though. I don't, maybe it was just an introduction. It's so interesting. I've never had the Acrturians came to me way later. They didn't come in as part of that whole history thing. They came in way later when I started channeling because they wanted to channel. And the Lyrans weren't there yet because they were still seeing who I was. It was really interesting. I've had all these really interesting things happen. But with the Lyran energy, for some reason, it's like they want to ground on Earth again. There's a grounding or an introduction or something that's wanting to be happened. Introducing themselves. Is it? Not sure yet. I think they're waiting to introduce themselves as an equal, but they're waiting for us to move. Oh, I don't know. There's something going on there. I'm not really sure about this feeling. I haven't tapped into the Lyrans for quite a while. They tend to keep in the background of things until they know for sure. But they do want to come through now, so that's interesting. Maybe we'll just leave it as that introduction at the moment, and then maybe they'll come through with a full-on channeling later on, and I'll do that. Because I'm feeling a little bit like almost nervousness, and I don't want to push the envelope with them because it's been a while. It's been a while. But yeah, I had some pretty crazy. They know some wisdom. They do. They know some wisdom. Yeah, they're creative beings. So, they also not just they have that cat-like appearance to many, but they also have many other diverse beings that they've interbred with. So they're quite an array of different Lyrans out in the universe. Yeah, there was another message that came through then, and I can't remember it. It's very tentative. It's like something just in the background here, and it's not very forefront, and I'm finding it a little hard to connect, and I don't want to just come out with anything, obviously. But there's a lot of wisdom that they can share with us as we progress, as we evolve and go forward. They said we're lining up with the Pleiadians as well. They're making friends with a lot more people than what they were before. I think they kept to themselves quite a bit, and although they went around and integrated themselves into different beings with their DNA and stuff, but there's these little there's a bit of information they've given me. They're bringing up the sphere balls. There's these little sphere balls that there's these balls that have been found in ancient times. I wish that I could show you a picture because I've actually got a picture somewhere maybe it's on my hard drive because this computer's been wiped, but there's these balls that are like ancient balls that they found dug up in the ground, and nobody really knows what they were. They actually held the embryos of different life forms when they bred. there's a lot of wisdom with them that they can share with us when the time is right. When the time is right, they will do that. Anyway, they've introduced themselves. That's about probably all I can get. I don't want to push it. I'll just see where it goes from there. But they have given me a bit of information. I have a book of a few things that they were giving me. I might go read that again so I can link in with their vibration again. Because they are creator beings, they could help us with this next creation that we are moving into. But humanity has to take their power back first, and that's lining up with source energy more than anything. Like source energy wants humanity to take their power back to be able to be their own creator beings, no longer relying on any outside force or anybody else completely, trusting their own soul and their own intuition and their own ability to ground, trusting themselves and from their own harmony, because it's a new thing that we're creating. It's something different, and they don't want it to be tainted by something that was one way or the other outside of us. But those other beings can actually gift us some advice, obviously. Yeah, I think I'll leave it at that for now. Interview with people in their business would be great. Yeah, Zara. So yeah, if it would be better if you did have a business too, that my mind is a bit dizzy because they're still there. But in any case, if you do have a business coming up, make sure, I would suggest, let's put it this way, you can do whatever you like. I'm not in control here. Like, this is your decisions whether you want to have an interview, but would suggest that you had a platform of some sort that you could actually put the interview on, so that you could use it as to get your name out there. Yeah, this is, I don't know what they're trying to bring in. Maybe I'll do a couple of tarot cards and see if we can get just a bit more of a story using the cards as well, because I'm really feeling like there is something coming. Yeah, we've got, see, 10 of Swords in reverse. They felt like they were stabbed in the back a million times. I know that. But they're obviously standing up now as they see humanity standing up. It's literally a synchronistic thing that's happening with us. We don't realize how much we're helping others gain their strength in coming out of their own ways or programming that's kept them bound. They are learning to become the fall and jump off the proverbial cliff. That's why they're like jumping in now. And okay, we might start channeling through Bobbie as well, because I'm not Lyran, I'm Pleiadian. I do have a link with them. That is a whole other story, and one day I might be brave enough to tell you that story, but it's a story that I don't think I can say without getting emotional, so I won't bring that one up. See what else they've got coming through here. There is a lot of wisdom that they can share with us because of their history with humanity. Okay, because their history with humanity is huge. It's very long. And they've gone through so much with us. They've seen so many turns and twists in that. They came and they left, and and the Pleiadians were left here as their advisories. Something. Is there anything else that you want to say? Like lots. Everything's falling out of my pack all at once. I don't want to just open a floodgate of information. I want this to be, so that I know what it's giving me this feeling like you just meet someone, right? And it's a really nice person, and oh my God, it's so exciting. So you tell them all your secrets and all your stories, and then you go away and go, oh, I shouldn't have done that. No, I don't know if I can meet that person again. What happens? And then their mind starts whirling. What happens if they think this of me? I shouldn't have said so much and all that. Oh, okay, I just won't have anything to do with them anymore. That's what I'm trying to prevent here. So there's kind of like this tentative, just come in slower feeling. Never thought that this would turn into this. We have the Ace of Cups in reverse. So this is an emotional connection that they're asking to have with us, a new beginning, a new beginning. They want a new beginning with us. That's why they're jumping off the proverbial cliff into humanity's consciousness again to have a new beginning. They know that there's something, they know that the vibration of humanity is evolving into something else. And they want to be part of that as well. And they are through many other people. I mean, I'm not the only one. There's lots of people who channel Lyrians through. But maybe it's a new beginning with me and who I am. But it feels like humanity overall, the overall picture as well. The Emperor. So they're coming through as the Emperor, which slid on its side. That's a grounding hero, somebody who actually can create a beautiful path on Earth herself, like knows how to handle the outside world and all that sort of thing. There's a lot of secrets going to come forward. There's also been new discoveries happening because of the awakening of humanity. Humanity's going to branch out, have adventures, and go discover a lot of places that hold secrets of our past that has been hidden from us for eons, and also caves that will connect us more to those beings as well. There's different types of Lyrians that want to come through too. It's kind of overwhelming me a bit. I'm trying to ground this as well. Anyways, I'll see if there's anything else that wants to come through. Maybe go back to, we'll just leave it there, please. Thank you. Because I'm getting a little overwhelmed. Let's just feel into my team again. So my team is that I usually work with are the Pleiadians, the CYANIANS, and the Acrturians. The CYANIANS are higher octave beings that reside close to source energy, and they're part of the blue rays. They're like the blue rays, the Pleiadian blue rays. Anything else coming through? Well, just in that happening, that's telling me, just in what just happened there with me, and this expansion of having that happen means that we are evolving into something more and gaining more wisdom and more wisdom. And the Egyptians, for some reason, came in my dreams last night. I was channeling for a group of people, and the Egyptians were brought up. There's something to do with the eye of Ra and the pineal gland that I'm bringing up in the pineal gland masterclass, and I've put it aside, but I think there's more wisdom there coming through for that. So I might just leave that for the masterclass. There's so much more expansion. I'm kind of getting tentatively excited about where we're going to go. Okay, let's ground this with an animal card. All of a sudden, I'm shuffling animals, right? Rejuvenation, the lizard, a survivor. You are in peril. No matter what happens, you can adapt. Embrace your transformation. Put on your new cloak. You are the master regenerator. Now, that's so interesting that it's the lizard, the grounding side of ourselves that's come out in the animal cards. It reminds me of the little story I have of when I went to Uluru with David Icke. And David Icke, as you know, is very anti-draconian and anything lizard. And it was really weird because sometimes my guides get me to do things without, I'm just not even aware, and I just do these things and don't even consciously have an awareness about it. So when we got to Alice Springs, there was like a counter, and there was this massive lizard on the counter. It was obviously, there was a couple of them that was obviously part of the Alice Springs homestead mascots or whatever. And I've never wanted to pick up a lizard. It was really big. I never wanted to. If I just come for myself, I would never have picked it up. But for some reason, I literally turned into Steve Irwin. I picked up this lizard in front of him and I put it near his face and went, "Oh, isn't it gorgeous? It's so beautiful." He's like, And I'm like, "Oh, why are you Anyway, didn't even contemplate in my head that he's against all that sort of stuff. So we have to be lenient with all of this. This isn't, life is life, right? It's the whole big ball of life is giving us this beautiful story, and it's exciting where it can go. And if we shut something out, we're shutting part of ourselves out, because everything's just a mere reflection of ourselves anyway, because at the core of it all, we just love going on a journey, right? Exploring different possibilities. So that was interesting. And we also had the raven, the shaman, which is like the crow, and I'm constantly seeing crows around at the moment. You are the creator and the magician. Use your gifts for good. There is power in your wisdom and words. Connect with the elemental spirits and glide through the void. Claim your place as keepers of the mysteries. So this is literally having this feeling. We've got these two opposite, one that flies in the sky and is magical, literally right brain, and one that's grounded and like lives in the earth and merges with the earth and can regenerate and merge with the earth. These are the two that we need, right, to actually become harmony with each other. If you really think about it, they're telling me that the birds will poop on the ground and then it will grow the foods and that for the lizards. So there's always a connection. And then right in the middle of that, remember I said at the beginning that they want us to play more? Dolphin, play, swim in the happy joy of living, inhale confidence and exhale fear, drive into your wisdom and go with the flow. I like that. Inhale confidence and exhale fear. Let it go. And just play. Play a lot more with this. See it from a childlike innocence. Don't attach yourself to things so seriously anymore. It'll help you evolve into help your vibration go into higher dimensions. Okay, guys, I'll open up the chat bar for a personal reading if somebody wants. And if you're leaving me here, goodbye. But if you do keep watching, these messages might be for you as well. Please take what resonates for you, even if it is for a chat bar person. I always believe that if you're still listening, that it could be a message for you. Okay. Okay. We'll start off with Debbie. Debbie. Debbie, you have the 10 of Pentacles in reverse, so you're trying to reach for obviously abundance, maybe a home coming your way, and that, but it's in reverse. So there's a striving here for abundance, wishing, hoping. They want you to come into yourself and feel abundant from an inner core, because then everything will start, the gifts will start rolling in. I am abundant. Just purely because I have a body, just purely because I'm here in this experience. I am so abundant. This world loves me so much. It wants me to be present so much that it wants me to be happy. That sort of feeling I'm getting, if you go into those feelings, I'm feeling a block there, like, yeah, that's not going to work, or so there might be something that you're just working through at the moment so that you can align yourself with much more abundance. I'll turn it up right for you so that we can talk a bit. So yeah, the outside world will only gift you what you already know yourself to be. And if you know yourself as somebody that's worthy of being here and being happy, then the outside world reflects that feeling that you have for yourself. Yeah. Okay. We'll go to Cheryl. Cheryl. Everything, like I went right to the end, right? And I've got one card in my hand. Let's see what this card is. The Hierophant. So you have the Hierophant, and it was the last card in my hand, almost like grounding your spiritual connection to earth. It's like the piece of the puzzle that you're waiting for, grounding your spiritual connection to earth. How's it evolve, right? Literally having this story flow through my mind of here's religion and all that over there, and here's a spiritual people who are trying to ground a completely different scenario that's more self-empowering. How do you ground that into a business? How do you ground that into something? It's interesting. Or maybe you are grounding that into that, and it's like it's the last piece of the puzzle for you. Three of Pentacles is working on something. Like these are two people watching somebody work on something. So maybe you're working on something that others are watching and waiting and seeing, and it's like you have to wait until maybe divine timing with that Hierophant, divine timing for it to all fall into place. And divine timing just means it's an energetic resonance with those that you are. When you evolve within yourself, then it naturally starts to awaken others, and then those awoken could be having the piece of the puzzle that you need to go further to ground it. Okay, who else have we got? Zara. I'm so excited about these masterclasses. This is my legacy. Like this is the start of my legacy, and my whole reason and purpose for being here, honestly. And it's not going to end at those classes. There's going to be many more. I'm thinking of doing signs and symbols after that, going into dreams and everything. Be interesting, a masterclass on signs and symbols. So many. Zara. 10 of Swords, Zara. Maybe you're revisiting something that happened in your past where something hurt you. And maybe you're coming to the end of something and it's like, oh my God, is that going to happen again? Like you're coming close to creating something or close to something, and you have a fear of the devil showing up, right? Remember, anything like the devil and that, it's just a mere reflection of you not having your power, that who you are, and that you can see that coming a mile away and you don't even have anything to do with them anymore. that, which means it's not trusting others, it's learning to trust thyself. So there might be a lesson right here for you at the moment of learning to trust thyself and through this process. And I'm feeling like there's a lot of us coming to the end of something and the start of something new. And this is why the devil tends to show up when you're right at the edge of something, where things start going a little bit wrong again. And then you're so easy to blame someone outside of you. Oh yeah, that person's got low energy, and that's the reason why all this is happening to me. But it all comes from within you, and it's not until you take responsibility for that lack or that weakness within you, where you didn't fuel it with love and compassion for yourself, that ends up spewing. You'll constantly have it coming back at you. Anyways, there's something happening there. You'll get through this easy, they said. It's a lot easier. There's nothing to really worry about. It's more in the mind. Yeah. Okay, that's right, Debbie. You're welcome. Bless you, Bobby. I wish I could explain what just happened. Oh, okay. Callie. That's a good thing, you know, when we do the master classes, we can chat about all of that sort of stuff with each other. I'm not going to record those because it's more of a personal thing, and the actual classes are already recorded anyway, so I wanted to separate them so that you could feel comfortable saying whatever you wanted. Who else have we got here in the chat bar? Jamie, you've got the Knight of Pentacles. Oh, I don't even know why I said the King. I suppose because it starts with K. The Knight of Pentacles in reverse, though. So the Knight of Pentacles it's a very slow moving card. It can take years. This is a year card. In reverse, what am I feeling of that for you? Moving. And just like get one more card. Like the actual Pentacles is grounding something. Maybe it's come to a halt for you. And they're telling me indecisiveness can bring it to a halt. We have to be backing ourselves 100 trillion% now in the endeavors that we decide to do, because it's within our backing ourselves that we end up, other people can feel that off you and then trust you when you're starting to back yourself. If you're walking on stage presenting something and you're all like mouthy, no one's going to want to listen to you. So you have to back yourself first before you move forward. And I think it's just there's a feeling of a stop for you to readjust, because something happened in your past. Eight of Swords came out where you didn't see the opportunity or something coming. She's blindfolded because of your wounds of your past are catching up to you. So yeah, just readdress that. Like, it is of the past. It means it's held in the logical mind. It means it's time to let it go. Tell the logical mind a shush, that you are moving forward, even if it is, you know, you are gaining money, and you are going to gain financial freedom. You are going to gain all this stuff, but you need to drop the mind that's telling you otherwise. That's happened to you in the past. Otherwise, it will the indecision of who you are and the power of you will prevent you from moving forward. And this is a beautiful time for you to work through that. Okay. And now I will choose Emma. Emma. Emma, you have 3 cards that fell out. So you have the Ace of Swords, the 8 of Cups, and the Lovers. So the 8 of Cups in reverse. So usually the 8 of Cups in forward means that you've filled up all your cups and you're ready to move away from somebody, probably. But because it's in reverse, it's like, I don't know if I want to move away. There's a new beginning here. So we've got the Ace of Swords, but it has to start with the truth. It has to start with speaking from integrity of yourself, standing up for self before the new beginning can prevail. Okay. Well, guys, I think I'll leave it here. And I will see you on Thursday anyway. It was a bit of a hickle-pickle weird one today, right? But that's okay. We introduced the Pleiadians, and you never know what's going to come out of that. It's kind of exciting. Yeah, we'll see where we go from here. So, and excuse the way I look because I literally jumped out of bed and went live. Sorry about that, guys. Next time I'll be a little bit more made up. Love you guys heaps. Bye.